Heavy tanks run the show indeed on Himmelsdorf now as Utopia on the defense takes on eSuba on the attack. And so far, Mojo, where are these mouses rushing to?
Well, they're going downhill so far from... I mean, when you usually go down with a mouse, you don't want to climb back up to the hill. It would take most of the round. But Combat and Andrew are spotting to see what's going on. I mean, maybe they're kind of a team that's scared of their own tactics because eSuba is one of the guys. Frolly already took a shot because he aggressively played over the 8th line and Muka managed to connect him from the rail. And I was always saying, eSuba usually likes to actually push the 0 line when they're in defense, so I guess they try to defend against it every time they play.
Nice connection there from Muka and the Gorilla. The power of that tank shown again as Dynamo takes a few connections in his mouse, but he has plenty of HP to work around that. So far, it's just a pretty standard 1-2 line hold here coming out from Utopia. And the tanks from eSuba marching down the 8th line, Mojo. Why are they coming down the 8th line and why did they not just drive up the hill over the 0 line?
Well, this is obviously the faster way and they do want to start a faster engagement. I was expecting maybe they will just spot with Overus a bit and they could have avoided a shell from Grille like that. But they chose it like this. Still, the mouses are at the moment at one piece. There is no significant crossfire coming in from Utopia. There is no big chipping away of the HP. So honestly, so far so good for them.
So far so good as Protelicek takes one on the way towards that number 2 base. Utopia is going to be happy with that early damage, but we know the real fight is going to be on that corner of the cap when the heavy tanks have to start brawling. And then it's all about who gets those penetrations, because we saw yesterday, I think it was, Elian just surviving there for way too long.
Yes, but that was really part of his great play. He really played it well at that moment, but it was also up to his enemies who were letting him live without focus so much. So at the moment, eSuba already crossed the 8th line, so far so good for them. Now they are just gathering their forces. How will they pressure the cap?
Well, it seems like they're just about to do that as Overus puts himself onto that number 2 base. Protelicek and Tomasek in those mouse and Type 5 heavy. Very close. Now Utopia is going to have to start to make their move, start to make their rotation, because very soon we're going to have a fight here. And Mojo, I hear you want to bust out your crayons.
Yeah, I wanted to say, first, if they had light tank here, he would spot over and he would see if Muka is trying to shoot in a start. So they could have avoided that just simply by that because they would chase him away. But this is a one-trick pony now by Utopia. They need to charge in like this with all the forces they have because they know this is covered, they know this is covered, and they will just try to outgun eSuba. It's gonna be a bloodbath, and because every possible angle is actually covered by eSuba, and Utopia has 2 tanks that can be really heavily damaged, like both TDs.
Frolly crossing over, very risky move, but takes only 1 shot for his trouble. And Andrew's constantly spotting from the hill, so far eSuba kind of knows there is nobody from Utopia coming around. They know Bihu might be a threat, but Lukin is covering that as well. So now we go with the mouses. Dynamo up front. Protelicek is going to be his first contestant. Let's see, Protelicek versus Dynamo. Dynamo seems to be reloading HE maybe.
Bihu is spotted. Andrew needs to connect to his teams. I mean, he really needs to come close. Look at this!
Amorak on towards Shuku by the Type 5 Heavy. Well, that's gotta hurt. That's the flanking potential from Utopia straight out of the window.
Also, Andrew connected the first shot, if you saw, from the hill. So it was a double tap and he immediately got deleted here, bringing the game completely back to eSuba here. Utopia is kind of sluggish now here, and I don't see how will they approach without being punished hard.
Papa Pavian now took the courtyard, but he needs to be careful there in that Waffen Dragon. He makes a connection. So now I'm going to back off because he knows that Type 5 of Tomasek is still waiting around the corner. And this is a good hold coming out here from eSuba. They have the HP lead. Now the mouses are starting to make their approach. So Protelicek needs to be careful not to overextend and wait for the help of his teammates as Ruleze, Kolosvet and Dynamo want to even out this game. Protelicek needs help here, Mojo.
He needs also to position his mouse better and try to do damage less because he is an anchor there. When you're an anchor, you don't really need to shoot. You just need to bounce a lot of shells from the enemy and let everyone else do the job. like this, he will become a burden to his team because he's now only on 2-shot. Andrew is really low on HP now.
Yeah, Andrew was trading there with Bihu and Papapavi, and Overus here trying to trade with Bihu as well. Overus on towards a 1-shot. Bihu just a 2-shot for that 1390. Bihu gonna smartly back off and start reloading, but so far, eSuba keeping the HP lead here, and now they're starting to trade with these mouses on the corner, and they can still rotate around if they want to, because they have that 50B bad shot and 1390. Yes, they are low, but they can still rotate if they want to.
Exactly, they can do whatever they want, especially that 1390. I mean, Bihu is dead, and they do not have anyone who can rotate around the map. You cannot really call a Grill a rotation tank.
Combat overextending a little bit for that, though. He goes down to 827 from pretty much full HP, but eSuba still with a comfortable HP lead in this round, as UTOPIA they're just all locked on this corner, and eSuba coming in this match and starting off very, very strong.
It did look to me yesterday that also UTOPIA didn't play to their full potential, even with this hard meta. They just broke Oops because they overused the German steel, and Oops didn't have an answer. But it does look like eSuba is actually playing it well. Let us remind ourselves, even when they played before, eSuba was taking Himmelsdorf by far, even when they played against the superior enemies.
Nice clip there coming out from Combat. Joined in by Lukin to remove Colosaur. Then it's just Muka and Rulezik standing here as eSuba coming this round. Very strong start, dragging UTOPIA all around the map. Yes, they got an ammo rack, but look at the HP left. 6 tanks remain. Muka the only one for his team, and eSuba going to pick up this first round. And Mojo, I hope this is the trend for this match, because it's going to be a good one.
This is a really great start for eSuba, and really important moment that they're picking up their attack on Himmelsdorf. So this is something that by stats they should be far worse than UTOPIA, but who needs the stats, man? This is the new patch and all new opportunities all over the place.
Yeah, eSuba there, good positioning. I mean, they saw with Andrew from the hill, there was nobody in their courtyard. And then Shugu tried to make a peek, and arguably, even if he didn't get ammo right, he should have gotten punished very heavily. If that Type 5 doesn't ammo rack him, he's still going to hit him for 600, depending if he pins him or not. Probably not, but he'd still be like 500 HP, so didn't change much.
This is exactly like most of the eSuba plays. Like, this plan was not complicated in any moment. It was very simple. 1, 2, 3, ABC. And UTOPIA was actually the one who didn't have a proper idea how to deal with it. And still, I don't like that pick of 2 German tank destroyers, those softies, against this meta. They're very weak.
Especially
I mean, you need to have you need to have a long range shots possibilities. And someone actually needs to spot for you. They have only Barchat who can do that, so they're relying completely on Bihu to do it alone.
Yeah, and especially because of the fact that those TDs, the Gorilla 1,800 HP versus a Mouse 3,200. He needs to make great trades, and Andrew and the Barchat actually did very well from that hill position. 3,500 damage coming out from him, from the Barchat. Then Lukin, Tomasek, Pratelicek, Combat. So 5 players from eSuba here on top.
Complete domination by them. I'm really wondering now, what is a normal loadout for Barchat? I mean, you had...
10-20.
Still?
10 APCR, 20 heat.
Oh, that makes sense. Because before the patch, it was vice versa. You usually would have 20 APCR shells and then 10 heat.
I think it's 10-20 right now, because you still need that APCR.
Yeah, you need them to deal with the mediums.
Yeah, so 10-20 I think is the standard loadout for Barchats now, or 15-15. But I think with the meta right now, 10-20 probably the best.
So there you go, guys. Shuku, well, yes, he peaked, yes, he fired, and yes, he died right there on a spot. Frolly didn't have the best game in that IS-7, honestly, and as I said on the start, if they just put a 1390 there on a passage, they could have seen Grille, and Grille would have to back away, and he could have just driven unspotted even.
Did Shuku re-peak there? Because it seemed like he did, and that's the moment he died.
I think he did.
I think he re-peaked, and it costed him, because he reset it, which was fine, it was all well, but
he
then...
did one shot when they were passing on 8 line, that was one, and he did one on 1390, and I think he wanted to shoot him again, and that was it.
Rip. Well, that's good from eSuba. I mean, honestly, Himmelsdorf defense, they might be able to do it depending on how many mouses UTOPIA bring, because, you know, we know them, they might bring 6.
It's a possibility. We've seen it yesterday. I mean, I really can't say I like that kind of games, because they're not very flexible and then really rely that enemy doesn't know what to do with it.
Well, Mojo, let's find out and see what they're going to bring on the second half here on Himmelsdorf. Let's take a look at the tanks that have been chosen by both these teams, as UTOPIA, 3 Mouse, 2 50Bs, 2 T10s, a very heavy but still pretty rotational lineup.
Yeah, but it's not like a super fast rotational lineup here, you can say. Like, there are 3 mouses, yes, they can forget them somewhere and pressure the other cap with these 4 guys, even kill on that cap, but it's not super rotational. And again, we see this Waffer Traeger tier 9. A lot of teams are taking it lately. I think it pays off initially when you are sniping and when you are connecting on people driving the 8 line and so on, but I really don't like it on long run.
Well, Mojo, let's find out if the tier 9 Waffentrager can perform better than you expected to do, as Utopia versus eSuba coming into the second half here of Himmelsdorf. eSuba picked up their offensive round and now going to be defending, as Utopia have to do it on the attack if they don't want to go 2-0 down.
Well, let's see how will that go on. eSuba is again sending some tanks over the 0 line, their favorite defense, but it's more passive now. I think they will just trigger the cap, treasure the cap number 2, while Utopia is sending their mouse tanks up on a hill. So we need to see how they actually want to connect that kind of play. How does Utopia want to gather their players and approach the game? Because they don't have to really just pressure the 2 cap. They can just go there with mouse tanks and maybe even pressure the other one from the back. But this setup they have, it does look like they want to fight, not to cap. This is not a cap setup.
No, especially because of that double T10. No 3090 available for them. They can't even do a block cap because they don't have a Type 5 or a Type 4 available to them like we saw teams like Ding do. But Muka, Colossoid, Relezic about to roll over that 0 line. And then we'll have to see where Utopia decides to go, because the 3 mouses committed on one side kind of tells that the rest of the tanks have to go support at one point.
Heavy cavalry going over the hill. There is a possibility that Utopia will try to pressure with mouse tanks from that side and then maybe take control of the courtyard and shoot the 5 line with the rest of the tanks, because mouse tanks can endure a lot on their own.
And 3 mouse is pretty much fighting 7 players.
Yeah, man, like that's 9.6k HP there, a ton of armor and really good DPM.
Well, Overus is going to see them roll down. Muka is going to be the first. He's probably going to side scrape here, try and bait out the connections from Overus and Protelicek. But at one point, they're going to have to go for it. Muka gets spotted out now. Mouse trading with a mouse. No connections so far. Colossoid is going to cross over. Should take at least 1 here from Protelicek.
It's going to be very hard.
That's 1?
That's 1. That's the 3rd shell he fired. Let's see, will he connect 1 more? Nope.
Well, Mojo, I don't want to say that. I said he's going to take 1 from Protelicek. He did indeed take just 1 on towards Colossoid. Some initial damage is better than nothing. It's very hard to penetrate those mouses on very long range. So any damage they do before they get close is an advantage. Andrew.
This is the real play here. We can see these 250Bs waiting for someone to click in the back, and Lukin is paying the full price of it while he is telling his team, hey, they have another part of the team here, right behind us.
Yeah, Lukin takes a massive amount of damage from those 250Bs. He's forced to use his repair kit, as Tomasek took a shot as well. And so did Andrew. So far, so good for Utopia, already extending their HP lead to about 2,000.
Oof. Oof. There is no defense against this derp gun. You can angle as much as you want. This is only the matter how much damage will you take. Sometimes it will be something minuscule like 200-300, but it can go up to 1400 if it depends.
Dinamo and Bihu now starting to make their way around towards the K line perhaps. Want to catch out Lukin, but they decide, nope, we're going to go towards the other side, as Colossoid and Rulezek have positioned themselves around their cap circle now. They're going to be fighting with Froli, and they don't have that Japanese heavy that is able to remove that IS-4 from Froli's position. So Froli should be able to get the reset, shouldn't he, Mojo?
Yeah, he should be fairly safe there, but they can also spam him with shells. This is what I said from the start, that they will try to dominate the courtyard and do some damage while eSuba is trying to cross the road. But Froli, whenever he wants to shoot at them, he will open himself actually to be shot also.
Yeah, so far, Froli not taking any damage. Depends if these mouses are going to start reloading HE ammunition at one point. You can see how much Froli is struggling right now to even get a connection on towards this on towards these mouses.
Yeah, so far so good for him, honestly, and he is really doing well there. Still, the game is up to these 250Bs. Whatever they do in this game, that's going to be a win or loss for Utopia.
Well, they're now making their way across the courtyard together with Shuku, I don't think they know about Combat's position. Well, they do now because he is spotted as Froley takes the connection. So that's a mouse and an IS-4. 250Bs and a T10 mojo. It's not really going to be enough to take through that, is it?
Yeah, 2 IS-4s there plus a mouse. This is really a lot for them to deal with. I mean, they will take some shells, but obviously they decided it's worth it. They want to take out Froley. But look at this. Overus is immediately going in, blocking them. Look at the damage Dynamo took.
What a great play from Overus. He pushed forwards, denying Dynamo and Bichu the connections on towards Froley, who survives on 749 HP. As Pertelicek pushes around the corner now. Combat pushing in as well. That's 150B down. A Type 4 from eSuba goes down in the process. But Bichu, he's not going to be much in a much better situation as Overus and Combat push forwards, want to remove him from the map as well. But the capture circle mojo, 4 seconds, finally does get reset.
He reset now, but there is a counter-attack coming in from Utopia. So it's going to be a big cluster fight here on the 5 line. I mean, we need to see who will actually manage to overmatch. Then Combat is the only guy who has some HP left for eSuba. And this is a real problem now. And this is the strength of the mouse tanks. Because when they kick in this kind of the close combat game, they will always win.
Andrew is now pushing forwards as well as the fight continues here. But it doesn't look good for eSuba whatsoever as Combat is surrounded by the tanks from Utopia. And he's going to go down rather quickly, and then it's just Lukin. And Lukin is only now getting in towards the fight, so I don't think eSuba has any chance in this round as Papapavian cleans up Combat, Lukin and Andrew. Just 2 tanks remaining against 5 from Utopia.
Yeah, this shows that you really don't need million mouses in a game to win it, but some are very appreciated. And the rotation force from Utopia, in this case, won over eSuba because they were too stale. They were just relying too much on trenching up, and that's what lost them the game.
Yeah, they tried to do a nice counter push there in towards the 5 line. I mean, Overus did very well over there, but it wasn't enough because they lost the Type 4 in the process as well. And the tanks from Utopia, the mouses quickly came around the corner.
Yeah, that was the best possible play Overus could do. It was a good team decision to push there because they applied damage to 50Bs. They really damaged them hard, even killed FC Dynamo, prevented IS-4 from dying easily. But still, it was not enough. It was not enough. There was a lot of HP advantage already there for Utopia. And as I said, Mouse Lukin was out of the game completely.
Yep.
Tier 9, Waffenträger, completely useless in this kind of situation. He does some side shots, but that's about it. He cannot really engage.
No, but I think he did a nice amount of damage though. But yeah, with Lukin being out of the fight as well, losing that Type 4 before the game really even started. Not that great from eSuba, so it's going to be 1-1. Let's take a look at the stats here. Rulezik in his mouse and then Muka to follow up. No massive surprises here. And Mojo, I got a question. Who do you have on your fantasy team?
I have Bihu and Muka.
Yeah, you know, Ryan has Rulezik and Muka.
Oh dear.
But I have Colossoid and Bihu, so it's okay.
Things happen, man. That's what I can say. At least Muka is playing this time. Like on the first match, he didn't.
That's true. Never mind. And Vetso yesterday didn't have the greatest performance either.
Yeah, but Muka is on my original team. On the team that is contesting, I have 6 Kazna guys and Bihu.
Okay. Bihu did all right here. Not great, not terrible.
Yeah, not great, not terrible. That's the description here. But he somehow always finds his way in up. I don't know how, man, but he just clings to damage over time.
Yeah, 1-1 coming out of Himmelsdorf, moving into Ghost Town. Now, who do you think should have the advantage here, and how is this going to play itself out?
Well, Utopia really likes to play with a lot of mouse tanks. We've seen that by far. It's the question, only can eSuba play any possible rotations against that? I mean, I've watched some COS yesterday, and I even saw flawless cap happening on Ghost Town yesterday because the other team just didn't react well. So there is all kinds of possibilities still here if you allow them to have a whole playfield for themselves.
It's going to be interesting to see how many mouses Utopia is going to bring because, you know, we wouldn't be surprised if they bring 5, 6, maybe double tier 9 and 5 normal mouses.
So you're voting more than 7?
No, I'm going to stick to 7.
7 is a magic number for Ghost Town.
I started with 6 because teams were still learning, but now I'm going to 7. I was pretty accurate as well with it.
Yeah, it was 7 a lot of times, but I think in this game we might even see 8. There's a possibility.
Well, Mojo, let's take a look at the lineups and find out if you are wrong or I am wrong. And if I'm wrong, nothing's going to happen. And if you're wrong, nothing's going to happen.
Well, we are
Mojo,
both
it's
wrong,
6.
it's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm closer, so I kind of win.
You're wrong.
No, I win because I'm closer. I mean, I said 7, you said 8. 7 is only 1 away from 6.
It's
so-
still not correct value.
Yeah, but it's about being the most correct.
Error 404, cannot accept the
It's
parameters.
about being the most correct, Mojo.
Utopia attacking here with 4 mouse tanks, T57 heavy. This is something even similar. You can say what Ding used to play before, because they play with 3 100 tanks and 2 57s. And they're using obviously 2 VZ tier 9 Chinese. I mean, this is really mobile, single shooter with 440 alpha, rather good for these kind of situations.
Well, Mojo, we're going to have to find out if they are good for these kind of situations. As we move into our second map here, it's going to be Ghost Town.
Ghost Town. The first absolutely symmetrical map, made especially for 7 versus 7 games. The teams start the battle on opposite sides. There are numerous ways to attack here. One of the bases is located in the central square, the other one at the top of the city. The hardest battles are usually fought for the top base, and this calls for the use of heavy tanks. Sometimes the teams choose fast tanks for spotting and base capturing.
Here we go. Utopia versus eSuba. Currently 1-1 between these two, as Utopia takes on the attack and eSuba takes on the defense.
Combat not even close. Climbing up there. This was quite a fall there. At the moment we see that Utopia is going toward this middle cap, so they're getting their position left and right, and they will eventually enter it, so all this climbing will be in vain for combat. But there is a rotation immediately coming in from eSuba guys from the lower side, and we need to see how will that actually kick in into this play.
Well, Andrew already got spotted out. He might take one from FC Dynamo here on the crossing. There we go, 384 in towards that bad shot. Actually, a secondary shot coming out. 735 now taken in total by Andrew. And some nice shooting there from Dynamo.
Yeah, Dynamo was very generous with giving shots away to Andrew in this game. And the fast reload T57 will not really put him in danger because no one can engage him. While he's doing so, it's like 20 few seconds with all the good crew perks and Coca-Cola. But the cap is pressured at the moment we see Colesoid actually triggering it.
Colosoid is indeed on towards their cap circles. Froley now picking up, trying to find. He only sees the 2 mouses, and then actually he sees all 3 mouses, 2 on the left, 1 on the front, and he's going to be wise not to pick that again. Colosoid is sitting very far back in that cap.
It's just a pressure. So it's not something like they want to use as a tool. They just need to lure out the forces of eSuba so they could shoot them. And there is a lot of them here on this street.
And they're just holding off the cap. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. Froley still, they do not know where Colosoid is. He takes connection. Mouse is just fighting over here. No clear winner yet, but eSuba is so far taking the brunt of the damage.
Yeah, they're about 3,000 damage down already, HP down compared to Utopia, which is not hard because Utopia even has more heavies there. So that's going to bring them some advantage in that regard. But the more worrying fact is that Andrew is on 1k HP and he's the main guy to flank. Also, they have combat in that AMX 30 who cannot really allow himself to get in front line and fight.
Nice reset coming out though from Protelicek on towards Colosoid. Very needed as the cap was starting to get low, but now Froley relocating as well. He's trying to find an angle on towards Colosoid. Utopia, when do they go for their play?
They're already. You can see them pressuring from the left side here. They are trying to gather up their forces and relieve Colosoid from having to watch on his left flank. When that happens, they can actually enter with multiple tanks on the cap and pressure eSuba more into reaction. And reaction will have to be pushed in one moment.
Tomasek taking even more damage in his Type 4. That is not great for that tank. 639 left as eSuba is starting to get down more and more HP here. 58 seconds left on the cap as well, so eSuba needs to find an angle on towards Colosoid at one point. And so far it seems like Utopia has a pretty good hold.
Yeah, Type 4 Heavy, we said many times, there is a big problem with it because it is slow and armored and it has a great derp, but no matter how you turn your tank, you will have a flat surface to someone. That tank just has flat surfaces all over the place. I mean, there is no angling you can perform to just protect yourself.
Nice double tap there, though, from Ovrus and Lukin on towards Bihu. Takes 2 shots of damage. Andrew now spotting out the rotation here from Shuku, from FC Dynamo. Shuku is going to push forwards, and he might get an angle on towards Frawley, but no, Frawley already backed away around the corner. Good plays there from eSuba, but now they need to find a different way of getting resets on towards this gap.
Yeah, this is a decent from them, how they actually managed to save their HP in this moment, but the problem still stands. There is quite a significant HP deficit here for them, 3000 HP, and they are just gathering now maybe to go in counterattack, I hope.
It does look like that, Mojo, and a bit 3 times getting on the cap here very quickly. I think it's the perfect moment to listen to Utopia.
Ja zasavils.
Ja jedu już.
Jadą.
Zaczyna z tyłu.
Jadą tu.
Beczka. Zajdzie,
AMX bije. Zablokuj. AMX-a zablokuj. Małce nie dojadą.
AMX,
113.
Muka.
A. Dobicie.
Uciekłem.
Dobra, zabity.
Mauser
Jest.
kapowany. Nie.
Dobra,
Zabił
fokus.
u mnie.
Małsa?
Małka dobił.
Ja sobie
Nadaję.
zabiję gościa.
Dawajcie.
I kill.
Możemy bez.
1-1-3.
Może brać.
Zasłoń. Nie mogę Małsem, no co ty?
Okej.
Колесо справа шотне там, где?
Убьет Павин.
Бэшку,
нормально.
не, бэшку.
Beszku, Pawian, beszku.
Próbuję... Dobra.
Well, Mojo, they found a different way to reset, but it costed them their entire team.
Pretty much, there was what we said. Utopia used the cap as a pressure tool, and at one moment when they secured the flanks, they boosted it with a couple of tanks. So eSuba had no choice but to go in, but they were already 3000 HP down, and they had to come around the corners to do it, which always means you get shot to smithereen.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened as they came around everywhere. Utopia shot them down. They did get the resets, but it's just Andrew again. 6 tanks from Utopia as Dynamo puts them out of his misery. And that will be Utopia picking up the attacking round here on Ghost Town, but it is still the favorite side though.
Yeah, they still need to play the other side. I mean, defense is always a bit harder on Ghost Town, especially with this meta, because you cannot really dictate what will you do. I mean, you can always, as defender, try to go in and fight with the attacker, but that's never a secure measure, because you do not really know where they are from the start. I mean, the attacker can always get better crossfire angles, and he can just choose which cap will he pressure, which makes them more mobile and whatever, stronger on the map.
Yeah, once they cleared out that western side of the map, it was easy peasy for them, boosting the cap, covering the angles, having to drive into mouses. Let's just say it's not the best thing to do.
No, I mean, eSuba did rather decent. They didn't lose anyone just in vain, but I don't think they had a really complete build that can actually deal with this kind of pressure.
No, I don't think they were, in the words of Haiba, I don't think they were heavy enough.
And not enough mouses.
Muka here actually coming out on top. Very not happy that Ryan has him on his team, but nice performance from him though.
Yeah, Muka doing rather well here. And again, like on previous maps, the team that actually won it could say it was not even close, because they are in a brunt. There is 5 guys from Utopia on the first page here, last being Papapavio and Shuko, and Papapavio, and rather close in those tier 9 VZs.
And this Colossoid. Bihu.
Should play Bachats more. Mouse not his thing.
Apparently so.
At least he has 1 kill. We can say that.
That's helping us so much, Mojo. That's definitely going to even out the fact that that Muka did 4.3 kill damage.
Well, I have Muka on other team at least.
I don't have him.
It's just 1 game.
It's just a game.
Yes.
Why you have to be mad?
Yeah, you have to be so mad.
Yeah, exactly. But now, eSuba coming onto the attacking side, they should, in theory, let's keep it at theory, should be able to pick up this round if all the stats are correct, which they usually prove not to be when I say something like this. But in theory, they should win this round. Then going 2-2, it's going to be a long match, Mojo, I'm starting to think.
It's a possibility, but we need to see the lineups first so we can say. And
7.
there we go, 7.
7, Mojo.
You didn't say anything for this one.
It doesn't matter. I said I always say 7.
For you, it matters whatever you say, man, always. So eSuba attacking with 4 mouse tanks, 250Bs, and then Ru. Ru is rather unusual choice there. Same for Utopia in defense.
I don't mind it though, the Ru, if he can get those flank shots on towards the mouse with the back shots. We saw Isna do really great there on Prokhorovka, for example. I mean, if they can get those angles, then it's very good spotting as well.
Still, Ruda is rather easy. And he does look like a sacrificial lamb. Maybe he will just trigger the cap somewhere and while the other guys are going elsewhere. We have to see.
We'll have to find out where both these teams decide to go as we get into the second half of Ghost Town, where Utopia currently sitting on 2 on the defense and eSuba sitting on 1, wanting to make it all even again between these two. And Mojo, so far, eSuba sticking as a giant ball of death.
Yeah, they're rather same per stats on this side, 44 against 45%, so that's a negligible difference. We need to see how will they actually deal with this kind of build. Papapavian going immediately to break all the buildings on the cap, so there is no possibility of easy pressure by Tomaszek there. Smart play there, but this is what I'm interested in. What are they going to do with the rest of the tanks and the mouse? So they're going to counter the middle cap immediately, while they're more or less just ignoring the one cap. That can actually be quite a brutal, even a mistake. Like if eSuba actually chose to play that side, they can just enter with a light and then with 1 or 2 mouse, and it would be a problem.
Well, Shuku spots our combat, gets the first connection, now has to back off. He spots out Overus as well. He might be able to do some more damage though. No, just a tracking shot. Still have 3 shots available. Needs to be careful not to overextend in this batch shot. He gets 1, which is better than nothing, Mojo, like we say. I mean, combat took a shot now, so that Froly, any HP advantage you can get, well, if for Utopia, any HP deficit they can even out, is good for them.
1k advantage here for eSuba, but honestly that's nothing at this point of the game. They still need to approach the caps, and Bihu needs to avoid buildings, because yes, they can hurt you actually.
Tomaszek trying to connect there on towards Bihu, does not, and Papapavian and Bihu are just going to push across, and I think Tomaszek is in trouble. I think they're going to lose a Rue very early on here as Papapavian and Bihu show no mercy. Some shots on the move coming out as well. There we go, a connection from Bihu on towards Tomaszek. He's not going to get out of this one, as Bihu will probably get the final shot here. Drives over the house, closes it out. That's Tomaszek down. Goodbye, Rue.
Well, this is a thrown pick. I mean, that Rue, if he had any protection by the 50 BZ, he would have any sense. But Utopia spotted 50 Bs, they realized he's alone and they wiped him out. They have effectively no eyes in the back anymore, eSuba, and they can take shots from Papapavian in Bihu now. This is actually a major problem for them, because if they cannot push the city and overmatch Utopia, they are gonna get shot for free by the tanks they even don't see.
I don't think they're going to be able to shoot anything, as Froly and Andrew are now starting to make their play. They're going to push across. That is very risky here. Shuku already starting to empty his clip as Froly is the first one. Dynamo taking a lot of damage for this though. Froly is still alive. He needs to cross over here, shooting on the move. They need to be able to close out the kill against Shuku here to make this worthwhile. Froly goes down to 571. Shuku trying to run away now. Takes a lot of damage. Goes down actually on towards Sovarus. And Dynamo might not have a lot better as he started taking shots in the back now. And Mojo, I think this is the perfect moment in this fight to listen to eSuba and how they're going to close this round now.
Jo, pojďte, ať můžete střelit tohohle mouze, jděte dopředu, ať můžete střelit tohohle mouze.
Baťák.
Já na ně budu koukat. Aspoň
Jo.
jeden jste.
Ta 57.
Nevidím
Jedna
ho.
minus, jedna venku. Dvě venku, 57.
Jeď pro něj, Andrew, jeď pro něj asi. Já mám 15 vteřin ještě.
Já budu jedu na tu prdel, jako.
Nice.
Mouse vystřelej, koleset minus. Oba dva.
Já to přejedu.
Jo, já jedu taky.
Všichni vystřelný mauzové.
Pozor na ty mauze.
Ti teda koleso jde.
Tak jo.
Čo za už je ručko.
Doražo.
Dorazí to?
Já ho dorazím. Doražo, prosím tě, Luky.
Dobře, Lučo.
Mauzové jedou na mě, jo. Baťák.
Baťák jde napsat, Elička, musíme na ty 2 mauze.
Bacha na ručku.
Jedna minus, Baťák.
Musíme jet na ty mauze, no.
Bichu 3 minus.
Zabiju ručko, nice, pěkně.
Mauzové jedou?
Mám 3 rány, já zkusím zabít bata.
Budu za tobou, prosím, jo.
Má
Bude
dvě
mít tak dvě.
Pojď, Luky, ne.
Pojďme. Pojďme in.
Nice throw.
Nice.
Máme jednu.
Ejte, můžu vystřelit.
Jako, mám jednu ránu a pak
Dejte
nabiju
si buku,
60
dejte si
vteřin,
buku. Luka musí
Jo,
první.
dáme muku, jo. Běžte na pravou muku, dáme.
Takhle jeď, Luky, nemáš hávka.
Máš hávka.
On ujíždí za roh.
Pojďte.
Nice.
Nabím.
Nestihl jsem. Stihne to nebo ne? Nestihne.
Zabijte ho.
Dejte na track, když tak, aby ho neujel.
Doražo.
Já repem asi.
Not good.
To není
Já
dobrý.
mám 40 vteřin jako.
To není dobrý.
Tohle není dobrý jako. Luky, nemusíš na někoho jet, no. Mám 30 vteřin.
Luky, naurluj se a...
Nebo aspoň
Stůj za tím.
střílejte damage, no. Combated
Já
3.
zkusím pro muku, no.
Já mám 23 vteřin, zkus, no.
S ním nevytraduju jako.
Já jdu pro muku, no.
Já budu Rousika 15 vteřin. Luky, ne, 15
To
vteřin.
zkusím s ním vytradovat co nejvíc.
Pěkně, Luky, pěkně, pěkně.
Nekouká sem, nekouká.
Kam kouká Rousik? Na tebe, dobrý. Jsou 5 vteřin, Luky, ne. 4, 3.
Vystřel.
Zabiju ho.
Nice.
Máme
Já ho nedal.
Luky, musíme tam jet, no.
On taky ne.
Jaký ne?
Hečkem zase jdu.
Well, Mojo, I got close there in the end, but there should not be any way for Muka to win this. Oh, as I say that, he picks up combat, 2v1 situation. Lukin's a one-shot with a high roll. Froly's a one-shot for sure.
Yeah, Froly is on reload. I mean, he's the main factor in here, but he actually picks him up. He didn't go on reload. He saved the last shell.
He saved the last shell,
That
and
was
it worked.
risky.
And it worked out. It worked out.
That was risky.
Well, eSuba there in control. Actually, not in control. We're not sure how they managed to win that round.
I thought in one moment it's done deal. Like first Utopia will get in a back. They had Papa Pavian and Bihu in a back, and they will kill Froly because he was on low HP. But actually, Froly I think picked them both up. And even with damage Damorek, he managed to reload on time to do damage on some of the mouse tanks. eSuba thought so hard at that moment. They have the victory. They have it all. They can do it all. They can drive over the open field in a crossfire of mouse tanks. And there was like, oh, this is a problem. Houston, they had a problem.
Yeah, those 50 beats crossing over there, getting 2 times pretty much for, well, not for free. They got Shuku, they got Dynamo, and then they got Colossword as well.
I have
in the
no idea
process.
how Froly actually survived that.
Dude, I think if Ryan is watching now, he's going to be clapping his hands. Well, they're very tiny, but he's going to be clapping them. Rulezik and Muka there from Utopia, but Lukin from eSuba in between them.
Yeah, rather good farm here for Rulezik here, 5.2k damage.
Unbelievable.
Who would say that something like a mouse tank would in Pro League have damage like this, which is hardly achievable even with budgets. Well, Tomaszek didn't have a greatest game here, that's for sure.
No, that Ru could have been better. Yeah, it could have been better, but you could see that those players that got catched off guard from Utopia, Colossword, Shuku, Dynamo, well, not really off guard, but Shuku had to run, died. Good shooting from eSuba. Dynamo had to run, died because he couldn't go anywhere. And
In
Colossword,
the same moment, it was sloppy shooting from Utopia, who didn't focus out the single 50B. They shot both of them, but they didn't actually single out the first one, who was Froly. And Froly actually survived on some low HP and dead Amorek, but still alive and doing damage till the end of the game and actually winning them the game at the end.
and because of those positions being lost, Colossword and his full HP mouse was like, guys?
Yeah,
Guys?
I also don't understand, as you said, like, how did Bihu die? So we saw him clip out on a mouse from the flank, he took a shot, lost a commander, fine.
He tried to kill Froly and Froly clipped
but
him.
we still had at that moment Papa Pavian and him. Then Papa Pavian just disappeared. I have no idea what was he doing at that moment. Who killed him exactly. And then Bihu just poof. So they lost entire flanking force we were talking about that who can shoot in a back. eSuba tanks and bring them the victory. Doing so, they just both died like this and yeah.
Well, we'll see the result of it. It's currently 2-2 between the two. Moving into Mojo, do you remember the maps?
Actually, no, I don't. I think it's
Mines.
Mines? Mines,
Mines.
okay. Then it's Mines.
Now, Mojo, looking at Mines, highly defensive map in a sense, but we've seen a lot more engagements now around the middle, haven't we?
Most of the teams now are actually trying to charge in with the heavy German steel toward the middle, slowly but surely, or they're playing with E4s in defense. Let's see what will actually Utopia do. So they're sticking with their M40 defense.
E50 also for
E50M. Interesting.
E50M, good gun. Okay, armor.
Heat shells.
Could be good against mouse.
Yeah, but so is E4, man.
Yeah, I agree. We're going to have to see if that is a pocket pick for anything. We're going to have to find out. But like we said, that fight around the middle has been more common now. But last time, eSuba had to deal with that. It was Kazna crew in the tiebreaker. And we know how that one ended.
Yeah, that was really pathetic, man.
Whoa! Whoa!
I really don't understand how did they manage to lose that game. But never mind. Utopia here playing with RT, eSuba playing with RT, M40 both. We've seen a couple of last matches. There is a possibility of even blind shooting the RT, tracing or whatnot, because, hey, defender always has to be on one or two spots. So it's rather easy to find him.
Well, I think eSuba has to be careful because it's Papa Pavin in RT.
Definitely. Still, even he is limited what he can do.
Well, Mojo, let's find out if he's going to be limited in our next map. It's going to be Mines.
Mines, a small summertime map with lots of hills, rocks and other cover. The teams start the battle in the usual locations, but the base locations are different. One is located in the bottom part of the village and the other one is in the water. One of the key objectives is the center hill. That's why the teams will often select fast vehicles and tanks with strong turrets for cover.
So here we go, Utopia versus eSuba. All even between these two after two maps. Now moving into our third one, Mines, with Utopia on the defense and eSuba on the attack. And so far, Mojo, where is the C50M going?
It's gonna be rather interesting. I'm really interested to see myself. So it's Colesoid, and he's going toward the island to get a side snipe shot, I guess, from the bush on the K2. Yeah, he's going there. So rather passive play at the moment from Utopia. Bihu getting clean in his cover here. This is rather important. He took no damage modules, didn't have to use repair, anything. So it's really surprising. It was really good boost, climb by him. But eSuba can be a bit angry themselves for doing no damage to him.
This is where the E50M is going to sit, on the island.
But he was spotted, so they know. He was spotted, so they know, and they know what to expect. Passive play here by Utopia, so they will rely that actually eSuba will make some mistakes because...
Combat with the blind shot! Papa Pavin, you said it, Mojo. His ability is going to be limited. It's going to be none.
This is something that we were talking so many times. There is not many positions you can be in. Honestly, if I were RT player in a Gold League, I would not even hug the mountain anymore. You need to find some another position, man.
Well, it's the first shot from Combat. It's a 100-pointer, Mojo. We're skipping the 3-point. 100 points here for him as he removes Papa Pavin. What a shot. What a shot.
A short Mines career for Papa Pavian here, which is a rather big problem now, because if eSuba actually manages to push away Rulezik and Shuku from the mountain, they can climb someone up and start farming them. That's gonna be a serious issue.
This is gonna be an issue indeed, and Tomasek already making his way towards that eastern side in his 1-1-3, and eSuba, they can play so much more free, so much more open here, Mojo, because of the fact there's no RT available towards them. And Mojo, I heard you want to bust out your crayons soon?
Yeah, this is something that we need to know what's going on now. This is a moment that you need to see, because this tank here will, of course, do his best to just chase away these tanks backwards. He will blind shoot them, he will spam them with HE. At that moment, we have the RTPs who will park eventually here, and he will do the shots from that side. We have mouse tanks who are in perfect cooldown here. And since, let's face it, Utopia doesn't have E4 or something like that, it's going to be super hard to pen those two. And that moment, one of the Bachats will just climb up here, and he will get the shots, and he will farm this area here, 1-1-3, these guys below the hill, and so on. So when their HP gradually falls down, and they're satisfied with it, this Bachat will go attack this Bachat, and everyone else will just collide from their positions on Utopia. Utopia now, honestly, doesn't have a great chances how will they deal with this situation, because they already lost their biggest joker for this kind of game, RTPs.
Without RT, eSuba a lot more free in the things they want to do, the ways they want to relocate. Stomasek still trying to do the damage here towards these mouses. Not the easiest position to play, but he should get a few connections here, and sometime soon you can see him trying to line up the shot here against Shuku or Lezik. It's not the easiest position to play because of the hill also being in the way, and it slides down a little bit, but a nice connection there on towards Shuku, and these mouses, they cannot take this fight over a prolonged period of time.
This is a big problem for them. I mean, the only thing that can be grateful on, because at the moment Honestly, eSuba doesn't have a Lorraine arty. If they had it, they could actually park it. You remember how they can climb it behind the rock, and they could just constantly farm them until they have to move back. M40 is not really that easy to locate there, but he is lurking and waiting for them on the other side. They're spamming him, Tomaszek, they're spamming him with HE shells, and this one actually did quite a bit of damage, honestly. But still, eventually they will have to fall back, and the Bachat will climb up.
Eventually, Mojo, but so far, so good. Colossoid, though. 766 taken by him in that E50M. It seems like Combat made another connection. At least 766. Seems like it was Combat.
It was Combat.
It was Combat. And that's a nice connection there on towards the E50M. It's another tank that's very prone to arty shots. I mean, side or back.
The biggest problem with E50M, it's just tall. It's tall. So the shells that would usually miss someone else, they will eventually connect on him because he cannot really take the best cover like, let's say, Bachat or T62A. Tomaszek has a dead gun here on his 113, but it does look like he actually repaired it. He used a small repair kit.
Yeah,
for
he
it.
has double repair kit, so he used the small one. And Shuku,
What a
576.
Monster!
Yeah, Tomaszek is racking up the damage from this position, and we said it, over a longer period of time, this is just not a fight that Utopia can take.
I mean, alpha of that gun is 440, average 576. That's quite a high roll.
Well,
Interesting. They actually chose for completely different play. They will not climb the hill. They actually want to pressure on Colossoid because he lost some HP. So they will play from that side.
It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to work out. Froley and Andrew now starting to make their approach. Is Andrew going to keep going? Probably he is. Colossoid is currently not spotting. So Andrew, Pertelicek, they're getting down here for free. Still no spot coming out. They've crossed the 1-2 line. They haven't even been spotted. This is great for eSuba. Now Colossoid realizes he's in trouble because Pertelicek and Andrew, I think they're going to make him pay for this.
Good play here by eSuba and goodbye Colossoid. It was nice knowing you. You will die, man.
Die he did. As Andrew Pertelicek clean it up. Look at the HP from eSuba. Just Tomaszek took any damage so far in towards this round. Utopia have a mere 8,500 HP left. eSuba, they're completely outplaying Utopia in this round.
Man, let's face it. Utopia are just a sitting ducks at the moment. Yes, there is 3 minutes and 20 seconds till the end, but there is a large potential for eSuba guys to even rotate and push through the village if they want, or from this side to do whatever they want. And they will push with mouse tanks first, I guess. We can see the rotation from Utopia. They're attacking on village, on Tomaszek, trying to isolate him and maybe do some damage to him before the main strike comes from eSuba. And they know it's coming.
It's not going to do much as Tomaszek will be able to land shot after shot on towards his side. Another one, both his mouses dropping below half HP as now the Bachats are pushing in, and so is the TVP. They're going to close the game over there. Muka is going to be the first victim from Andrew and Pertelicek. Biku trying to cover from the top is not going to help much as they lose Muka. They will soon lose Dynamo as well, and Tomaszek still bringing the pain from the side as now Dynamo gets shot from the left, gets shot from the right. He has nowhere to go. eSuba will close out this round without any trouble.
Well, Pertelicek might fall, but it doesn't really matter. Bihu is the only guy left here for Utopia on some HP. And I don't think eSuba will go and chase him. But eSuba doesn't care, because they need about 40 seconds with 3 guys to cap. They will just position themselves in number 2 cap and let him have his mountain as much as he wants.
Yep, Tomaszek still alive over here as they lose Rolezik, Shuku, Bihu, the last 2 standing. Minus Shuku, 6 tanks from eSuba alive on Mines attack, 2 mouses on full HP. It couldn't have gone much. It couldn't have gone much better for them.
Combat actually died. He was picked up in this last moment, probably by one of the 113s down, but it doesn't really matter. Bihu picks up Andrew here, but the cap pressure is on and he's in reload.
Well, I hope he can get a reset at least, Mojo, because, you know, fancy points and such. Bihu now coming off the hill, installed 3 times there. They all miss him. Actually, never mind. Lucan got a reset.
He doesn't have a reload. He doesn't have a reload for it.
Ram, Mojo. Ramming is a potential reset as well. 4 seconds left now. Bihu behind the wreck here. eSuba is like, nope, they're not going to come off the cap. They're going to cap it out. 3-2 now in favor of eSuba.
Brilliant game here. Combat pretty much won them for them with that first shot when he deleted Papa Pavian, but also it's not only that. Again, we see a passive play coming in from Utopia. I don't like that kind of builds because it really restricted what can they do on a map. They just relied that Arti will do the job while they're all just taking proxy spots with the heavy tanks. It doesn't really work like that, and eSuba actually gave them the lesson here. Arti got blind shot because it was an obvious position, but it's hard not to be an obvious position. There are only 2 of those. And then they really worked on that E50M. On the island, guys, if you remember, they made sure he's always spotted when he peeks. And because he's big and he doesn't have that really great camo value, he was always spotted and shot. And they just used the momentum when he is back to freely slide the mediums right below him. And there was no protection then. The game was over at that moment.
Game was lost when Papa Pavian died, I'd say, because it gave eSuba so much room to do whatever they wanted. And Tomasek there is the perfect example, 4,200 from his position.
This is the best game for him in this season, man.
A great position for him to play against 2 mouses that are forced to push and rotate. Bihu in combat coming in 2.5, 2.7. Mojo, I'm a great believer of rounding up numbers. If it's above 5, it's an even number above. So combat at 2,655, that's 2,700.
I'm all for that, man.
Thanks, man.
So
well, Colasword, let's round it up. He did 0. Papa Pavian did 0. Rulezek did 0.
Wow.
Well, yeah, Ryan is going to be crying with that one. So am I a little bit because I have Colasword, but Bihu still did okay.
Yeah, Bihu did okay. That's the most important thing here. And we will see the next round. The interesting thing is eSuba actually never won a defense on mines.
Well, today is the day of things to change, Mojo.
Time to shine.
eSuba is going to change the stats. They're going to prove to you, Mojo, your statistics mean nothing, as they are going to pick up this defensive round. I'm willing to bet on it as well.
I'm actually hoping on it because I think they deserve it.
You want to bet?
That eSuba will win?
Uh-huh.
But I want eSuba to win.
God, Mojo, please, you have to take a bet at one point. But let's take a look at the lineups and see the tanks for eSuba's Mines defense. 2 Mouse, 2 IS-4, 2 Batchas, and an M40. I'm still not such a fan of the IS-4s, by the way. Yeah, I know it has like heat ammunition and stuff, but just don't like it.
I just don't know how they plan to use it, but honestly, I would rather use 1 E4 and 1 IS-4 if you really want like that, than 2 IS-4 heavies. Because E4 can be positioned really well behind the rock, where usually people even keep 113 or IS-4. And it can do a truck ton of damage. T-49 by Utopia.
Why Utopia bringing out a T-49 and not an artillery piece?
That's an interesting question, actually, for this. I mean, can they use him as a block somewhere?
Not really.
Not really. They have an RT piece and everything. Maybe just blind shooting, but why?
This might be another 1-2 line play coming out from Utopia. T-49 spotting, but why T-49? Perhaps for a big shot on the crossing with the TVPs clipping. The mouse is going onto the cap, but we've seen this already fail. I mean, it's hard to pull off, but 2 mouse on the cap against Artie,
it shouldn't work.
It shouldn't work, but they've tried it before.
Yes, they did, but I mean, it worked once, but not after that. I cannot say I'm really big fan of what they're doing now. It does look, as you say, like mainly 1-2 line play. They tried even to play with this, I remember, with pushing the village side, but that was a massacre. They just died on tracks there. It's really peculiar. I mean, they will definitely win the hill here. That's for sure. They're faster, they have the positions and everything. But what
I don't think they're going. I really think that's a 1-2 line strategy once again, coming from Utopia and T-49, because perhaps you can hit somebody for 800 or splash them for 300, knock out his tracks.
Yes, only if they catch one of the Batchas crossing over on that side. That can pay off, but still Artie, and they have nothing to deal with Artie. I mean, they need actually to have also hill, so the guy from the hill would blind shoot the position where Artie is, so they could actually win it.
Well, they can go up the hill with the 2 bat shots in the beginning. They have that. They can do that. TVPs to clip out on the 1-2 line. They can go up the hill with 1 bat shot even, send the other one down the 1 line quickly.
Well, there is a lot of versions what the teams can do, but effectively we will have to wait and see and let them tell us the story themselves.
I'm giving it to eSuba. I don't know, man. Double IS-4, don't like it.
That's
I don't like
that's
it.
the only thing I don't like about this, but specifically I like what they have more at the moment than Utopia.
Well, Mojo, as we look at the 1-2 line here on Mines, this is where we expect Utopia to go. My favorite hill there in the background, I remember back in 2005, I was climbing there. Great times, Mojo, great times.
Is that from your neighborhood? Biggest mountain in Belgium.
We have no mountains, we just have elevations.
Do you have elevators on elevations called buildings?
We have no elevators, we use the stairs.
Okay, that keeps you fit. Frolly is actually camping back in a base here, rather peculiar, but we already seen that also, because he will have some shots to the guys peeking from the hill. Aggressive play here by Utopia, going toward the center immediately. Papapavi and Bihu both going toward the village side. Can 49 boost?
Yes, he can.
That's going to be interesting to see. Will they try to use that?
Well, it does look like they're going to go for a straight boost here. Papapavi is going to be the first man. But Papapavi, nice form, nice style points. Bihu quickly to follow, and they're not spotted out, Mojo. This is very, very crucial.
eSuba actually is not even expecting it or doing anything about it. Like, this is a super great mistake by eSuba players.
Yeah, Bihu, Papapavi are going to be making their way up on the hill. They're going to be surprised by themselves that they haven't spotted anybody.
They're like, okay, no one spotted us. Great.
Perhaps eSuba really just doesn't care.
No, I think eSuba actually expected the play toward the water also. 1-2 line. Look at the position.
But Lukin is very far back as well, so perhaps... Actually, I don't know, man. I don't think they expected it either, but I'm hoping that they did. Because of the position of Lukin, it's not at the normal house. It's further back.
What is this art even aiming? So strange.
Well, Bihu going to peek out here against
That was a
Patelicek.
49 shot, right?
Yeah, 179 damage. Now Bihu peeking out. The first one is a non-connection. Patelicek snaps off a shot. The shot does not connect. Bihu does connect on the second. He has 3 more left. Let's see how much damage he can do. Another bounce. Needs to aim a little bit better here, but that's a nice connection coming out. So 2 shots from Bihu, chipping away. And I think that is 16 more heat shots he has, Mojo.
Yeah, Patelicek there is now pretty much safe, hiding behind the slope of the mountain. Frolly and Andrew are actually taking aggressive action and they're trying to control the 1-2 line.
Yeah, somehow it seems like they did not expect it indeed, which is not going to be good for eSuba as they're now forced to adopt and pushing 1-2 line, Mojo. It's risky, but there's nobody from Utopia there really to counter. They could take A4 without Utopia ever even knowing.
Utopia obviously just gave that side away intentionally, so there is nothing to say about that. Rulezik and Colesoid are rotating their tanks. Actually, Rulezik is spotted, and it does look like variation of what they did, if you remember what I told you, from a push from the 8-9 line. But last time I saw them do that, they really died in tracks. Like, they even didn't make it to the base.
Well, Combat still aiming towards the hill here. Dynamo and Muka are safe from that. Yuket's now forced to reposition as well because of the position from Bihu and Papapavin. Frolly spots out Rulezik. Rulezik should now be able to tell that he got spotted from the back lines. Frolly is going to try and get a connection here. Needs to be careful because there's 2 TVPs on the hill.
Yeah, there is Muka there.
Ooh, Frolly paying so much
But
for that one spot.
So is Muka. So is
Muka paid even more as Combat from the back lines. Does it again. I did not see that one coming.
Artie was aiming all the time, I would say. And this is something that Utopia completely neglected. It was nice clipping on Frolly, and Frolly even lost an engine there, so he's not a bachat anymore, but something.
It was Andrew from the back lines, right, that was able to do most of the damage towards him?
Andrew was supporting him, but the crucial fact, when we forgot, Artie was aiming all the time and waiting for something like that. And when you are clipping out from that position, you're wide open for Artie.
Big mistake from Muka, though. In reality, to put it like it is, I mean, yes, he should have expected Artie. This is not a good start from Utopia, Mojo. I mean, yes, the clip on towards Frolly was nice. Yes, Frolly doesn't have an engine, but now eSuba has complete 1-2 line control. They can just abandon it if they want to, but they decided to put Andrew in BE2, which is great because Frolly can support him. Andrew can clip before anybody comes towards him. But they have to be careful though, because Rulezik is starting to make his way over there in the mouse.
Yeah, I don't think Froli is enough support, even with Arti there. I mean, Shuku and the TVP Dynamo, when they push over, plus Rulezik.
Oh, but
nice
Arti,
damage, nice damage there.
that's about 900 coming out from him, Andrew. Let's off a shot. Shuku is in trouble as well. I don't think Dynamo's going to be able to cross over here. Andrew, nice connection there on towards him as well. Shuku picking out. Andrew misses. He has 2 left in the chamber now. Yuket's relocating as well. They need to kill Dynamo before he can do anything. Nice connections there from Andrew. One more. He's now on the reload, but Dynamo is the one shot. Shuku's pushing forwards. A non-connection coming out there, and I think Andrew's going to fall for this one.
Yeah, Andrew will fall for sure, but I think Froli needs to run away without dying now at the moment. Andrew is buying as much time he can. They're trying to actually to take out Froli. Dynamo is in reload, so he doesn't pick him up, but there is Rulezik with his, well, strong mouse push. Yuket is coming down in water to support Froli because Froli needs to run, but his engine is dead. So we need to see, will Arti actually be in effect now?
Froli has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide as Rulezik picks him up. Combat already tried to make a connection and he didn't. Now it is 6 tanks from Utopia just against 4 combat tanks really from eSuba.
Yeah, we need to see another great shot from Combat if eSuba actually wants to win this. This rotation when they took out Muka was great, but I honestly thought that both the Vatshots would just run away. I don't know why they lingered, because that was a really weak moment. Papapavian taking great damage, but he's still alive and still on hill.
Yeah, Papapavian's still alive, still in the fight, still doing what he can, as now Rulezik pushing towards Yukets. And Yukets doesn't really have any support because most of the tanks are on the other side. Kolosoid holding his position over here, knocks out Overus's driver quickly to repair that one. Pratelicek now coming from the hill. They're going to try and crossfire Kolosoid here on towards this position, but they're going to lose Yukets in the process.
And there is the Pratelicek indeed, but there is also Bihu on a hill with 100% HP who will help his teammates. Let's see. What will Arti do now? It's really about will Combat actually connect or not. Oh, Viber, you're not patient, mate. You should have been. You knew he will come there.
Yeah, he just re-aimed and he wasn't ready, but Kolosoid is taking the pain in the meantime. And eSuba, they're holding on. Lukin picks up Kolosoid. That's now the hill clear. Dynamo clipping on towards the back of Pratelicek. Papapavian picks up the RD, but he was a non-factor anyways in this round. Yukets now versus Rulezik. Rulezik connects the shot, but Rulezik pretty much goes down towards the one shot here. Pratelicek still alive on the hill as well. And time is starting to become an issue, but Utopia seem to have wrestled control back of this match.
I think Utopia has it because they have Bihu on 100% HP on that hill. He is farming damage like a boss. Good for us, bad for eSuba.
Rulezik picks up the kill here against Yukets. 64 HP remaining on him, and his 4 one-shots and Bihu versus Overus and Lukin.
Well, once they take out Lukin out of equation, Overus will really not be able to do anything
They
about
can
it.
just start cap.
Yeah, they can start the cap and Bihu can just shoot them in the back, whatever they do. There is Shuku being on number 2 cap. He has actually more than enough time to do it alone, but they have even 2 guys there. Overus will have to drive that way and he will get clipped out in the back by the Bachat on a hill.
Well, Bihu's already coming off the hill. He wants to pick up the kill versus Lukin here. He's going to come off, he's going to come over. Lukin gets the connection on towards him. Bihu should close out the kill here. He does. 4 shots remaining. Overus now shooting towards Bihu as well. Bihu getting the connection into the back of that mouse. Already 2 coming out. Dynamo from the hill. 1 more coming out on Overus from Dynamo. Nope, it's Bihu from the back lines, making it 3-3.
It was a rather good game here by them. I mean, it was huge mistake by eSuba. I really thought by pick eSuba actually has the game, but it was huge mistake giving the mountain for free because they could have dealt with the cap. They had how to deal with the cap. And those 2 IS-4s that are so slow, tanks, that's the big problem because they didn't put them in any position where they will actually spot something ahead.
Should have left 1-2 line after they killed the kill on towards Muka.
That was the major mistake.
If they did, they would have been able to hold off very, very well.
If they just ran back completely to start positions, what would Utopia do? They would have to play something progressive. RTPs would still be alive. He would have opportunity to shoot other guys. Bihu, nice farm there. Almost 3,700 damage, a bit below 3.8 there. Yukets in IS-4 actually doing quite a lot, but not enough. Look at this, Rulezik, Dynamo and Kolosoid around 3k all.
Yep, good play there from all the Utopia players and Andrew and Overus, but just not enough. Quick climb there from Utopia was very interesting. I still don't think eSuba really expected it. Froli, they're not doing too much, but Papa Pavan and Muka neither. It's just the top players from Utopia that made the difference.
Yeah, Muka got deleted. He fired 2 shots there, and he paid the price. Combat 1600, I really think he could have done even more, but still, he did his job.
Yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. Well, it's 3-3. We're moving into Prokhorovka. In theory, it's a 1-1 map.
It's really possible tiebreaker here.
Tiebreaker is in the favor of?
Tiebreaker would be in the favor of Utopia in theory, by percentages, but we've seen Himmelsdorf.
No, I mean in terms of points for the rankings.
Oh, I need to actually check that.
Because we want to know if Oops can still overtake Utopia if they go to tiebreaker. But
If Utopia gets, like, Oops at the moment has 21 points and
Yes.
Utopia 22. So if Utopia gets 2 points, they will have 24. And we need to see then how are they matched against
didn't
Oops.
Oops beat Utopia twice?
I think they did.
So if this goes to tiebreaker,
Yeah, they did.
it's really good for Oops.
Yeah.
If this match goes to tiebreaker and Oops, but then Oops needs to win.
beat Kazna.
Yes. Needs to beat Kazna clean.
Yes, 3 points. And that means that Kazna will not be top 2.
Yes. So interesting here. So
A good cascade of events that
yeah,
unfold.
it's going to be interesting. Let's take a look at the lineups for Prokhorovka. Can't wait for that second match, but we're still into this one. Double mouse and an STRV here. Object 261 again for eSuba.
Come on. Like, it really didn't work well last time. Like, 261. I mean, yes, it's the fastest tier 10 RT shooter, but I really don't like it because
Didn't Gunrunners pick it as well?
Yeah, Gunrunners did it. And they split all over the map and lost because of that.
Maybe eSuba will be able to do it better.
Well, if they split in a similar fashion like Gunrunners, they're going to get stomped. But Utopia also has an RT piece, but they do have 3 budgets. The difference was Ding was actually playing without RT and with light tank. So they did provide initially a huge amount of spotting, and it was a huge push coming in. So they took out both the light from the Gunrunners and Object 261 and the medium in a process.
Now, looking at this, Mojo, who, why? Who and why?
Honestly, in this kind of game, I think actually Utopia might do better because the difference in damage between M40 and 261 is not huge.
AP maybe?
AP might work, but it's always a risk because it might just slide off and do nothing and just track a tank. So they have STRV for defense, they have mouse tanks for some kind of cooldown, and they have those budgets for rotation plus an RT. That means they will abandon one side.
Well, Mojo, going to have to find out who's going to put themselves on match point here. Which of the 2 RTs will prevail? Let's find out on Prokhorovka.
Prokhorovka, one of the first maps in the game. Teams start at the regular spawn points as they do in standard battles. Bases are separated from each other by the railway, so the defending team has to choose whether to send their vehicles to the left side, playing them in the centre, or to the right of the railway, occupying the hill and a part of the village. The attacking team usually attacks the first base. However, the teams often go for face-to-face confrontations, 7-on-7, in the hilly terrain at the centre. That's why both teams frequently use vehicles with good gun depression angles and sturdy turrets.
Well, Mojo, here we have it. Utopia and eSuba currently sitting 3-2-3. Both teams going blow for blow on every single map so far. And it gets us where we are now, with Utopia defending and eSuba attacking with a 2-6-1.
Interesting, but actually Utopia is giving away this open side to eSuba for free, which they will probably use the best they can. They are relying a lot on that M40 RT to the decaps, but we've seen in a couple of games that's not always the smartest choice because you still need to spot it somehow. And that's the opportunity for attacker always to do damage.
Well, eSuba quickly realizing that the 1-2 line is completely free for them. It's going to be taken out very quick. Look where Overus is already on the 5 line there. Could start to cap very early on, and we have to see what combat is going to be able to do, what ammunition type he's going to fire even, because there is still the potential for AP shots.
There is, but I think this is a huge misplay here coming from Utopia. They try to overtake this side and just deny any kind of presence to eSuba there, but effectively they've just given them the map. And look at this, cap pressure is already on, and they're caught pens down.
Yep, Overus even gets a nice position in the back bushes there. Shugubihu have now taken the rails in the south, but realize there's nothing there from eSuba. Yes, Lukin is strangling a little bit behind, but I don't think anybody's going to be able to spot them out just yet.
Look at this. Utopia still didn't even finish the spotting round, and the cap pressure is already on 35% and going on. 1 minute, 15 seconds, solo capper there. Rulezik will be the spotter here.
Another first shot from Artie comes out, 496. I don't think that was even him. I think it was Froley maybe from the back lines. Froley in the STRV should be having the time of his life, Mojo, as that STRV is probably the best tank to dig through those mean mouses.
Froley is doing his damage now on Rulezik as soon as he peaks. Combat is also aiming here. Rulezik will be in a deep problems here.
Let's find out if this is AP. We need to see the shot come out. That's AP.
That's AP.
Because it didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that's nonsense. I really think he should just go HE all the way.
Well, we're going to have to find out. Rulezik is paying so much for this reset, and he still didn't find anybody. It's Soverus in the back bushes. Ukets is now going to block off Rulezik. There's a tank coming from the side of his FC Dynamo. In this batch out, he's going to try and spot out Overus. He has to, or he might get the shot here on towards Jukets, but still 20 seconds left, Mojo.
22 seconds left. Shuku is also trying to join him from the other side, but if Dynamo actually goes over and tries to decap, which he will eventually have to do, he will be prone to counterattack from eSuba guys.
Well, the RD still aiming with an AP shot again. A non-connection coming out from that 261, but 2 seconds left on the cap here. Dynamo rushing in. Finally, a reset comes out, but it's very, very late as they're going to lose Dynamo for this. A full tier 10. Ukets actually misses the shot there. Dynamo might pick him up. He has one more shot. No, Lukin comes from the top, saves his life, and now eSuba still down in HP, but they have that tank advantage.
I think overshooting with those AP shells is criminal by Combat, because by now he could have dropped Rulezik on like 500 HP with those HE shells. So this is not something he should have done. They really had a good position, and you don't want to chip in like cheap and easy. He could have done his work much better.
We have to see if he's still firing those AP runs as Papa Pavian looks to close out Ukets out of this game. No, drops short. Ukets still alive for now.
Yeah, it was really RNG save there because that was well-aimed shot. And he should have landed actually on Ukets. But it didn't help out. Muka getting spotted here. Let's see, will there be a connection? A lot of buildings are obstructing the view for 261.
Ooh, Combat, why did he re-aim? He's looking behind the buildings now. He's going to let off a blind shot, but nope. I think he should have taken a shot there, really.
I think he should have taken a shot, but he should have also shot Rulezik to pieces by now. 20 times over and force them to like come with another tanks and do something about it.
He's going to be trying to close out the kill here against Shuku, but I think Shuku will go.
He's so nervous, man. He's losing the shots.
He's aiming all over the place. He could have gotten a shot here against Colossoid. Combat needs to start taking the correct ones. Papa Pavian closes out the kill now on towards Ukets, as we expected it would happen at one point. Now Rulezik is feeling a lot safer in this position.
Yeah, but he's completely abandoned here, and this is why probably Combat is trying to aim on the other guys. But there is no patience in his actions. That's the big problem here, because we've seen it also on Mines. He was expecting a guy to come around the bush, and he had a perfect aim there, and then he got anxious and lost the aim where he could have gotten a kill.
Yeah, Papa Pavian is going to be aiming here towards Lukin in the mouse. Well, he should get a connection against him. It's a mouse after all. Lukin's actually pushing forwards. Papa Pavian is aiming. He's almost fully aimed. Let's see how much he can do against the mouse as he lines up the shot. And Lukin actually dodged it. No, never mind. He didn't dodge anything. 577.
Yeah, as we can see, Papa Pavian has no issues with patience and aiming. So he's doing his damage all the time. It's not a huge amount of damage per tank, but it's going all over the place steadily. And he did take out Ukets out of the equation. So far, so good by Utopia. And I actually believe that Utopia is doing at the moment better only because Papa Pavian is just doing the better job at the moment.
Well, Combat still has 4 minutes to make a difference. He's going to start lining up the shot here, probably against Colossoid. That's AP again, Mojo. Let's see. That's 3 shots. Means AP. He's going to be lining it up. There's a building on the way, though. It's not going to be that good. Maybe. He's going to fire here in a second. Let's have the shot. Let's see if it connects. Ooh, 1,158. That's the power of AP on the 261. That's going to hurt Colossoid.
That really hurt Colossoid there, but that's just equation at the moment here for them. Utopia is still doing well because they have Bihu on a lot of HP. The problem is all the mouse tanks that are supposed to soak up damage are below half. Muka STD, he can be used as a battering ram, but it's better not to. Shuku has to be super careful because that's not even one shot. That's like a traffic accident, man.
Currently, they're just using Muka as a spotter, which is very interesting. Combat trying to find Colossoid. Colossoid desperately trying to hug some buildings. You can see him over there. He's not going to knock over anything, hopefully. Never mind. Didn't say anything.
3 minutes. 3 minutes till the end of the game. eSuba should be thinking about it very hard.
The thing here right now, oof, Lukin taking some more damage. He needs to be careful. Andrew should go close out the kill against Rulezik, 1v1.
Andrew should. But he needs also really great support from his teammates. Froley is coming there, but he is spotted. He's shot. He lost the commander.
He's getting shot by Muka from the back lines by the STRV. And Colossoid, Froley is on fire. Muka is going to close it out. There we go. Froley did not hug the red line well enough like we saw Pratelicek do.
Yeah, Andrew is now going in and he will try to kill Rulezik one-on-one. He does have enough shells for that for sure. And he can do it. But he mustn't bounce a single one.
You can see Andrew is being supported by Combat, actually. Combat is going to be lining up the shot here against Rulezik. Again, an AP shell loaded. The first connection comes out from Andrew. Combat is going to fire off a shot here before Rulezik starts moving. Is he going to close it out? Yes, he does! A nice connection there towards Rulezik. It's a shot Andrew doesn't have to use.
1 minute 50 seconds till the end. Bihu with much more HP here than Andrew, and he will have a full clip. He's coming in. It's just the problem that Andrew doesn't spot him before time, but he does. And he will probably connect. Only one shell, actually.
Only one shot. Andrew is going to go down here unless Combat can save him. Bihu's going to come over. The first connection needs one more. I think Bihu will close it out clean. There we go. Andrew goes down. Just 3 tanks remain for eSuba. One of them is an artillery piece.
Yeah, that arty didn't really heavily pay off. It was a nice stunt with that one AP shell, but honestly, if he just spammed those HEs on the time, they wouldn't have this problem.
Pratelicek now with it all to do. He's lining up the shot here against Colossoid. But Colossoid should be fine for now. Spots out Pratelicek even. First connection comes out from Pratelicek. Colossoid is going to take the fight. Yes, he does. He goes down. Now Muka going to try to be the next one here. Going to push up. 48 seconds. So they just need one tank to survive, Mojo.
Yeah, it's 50 seconds, 45. They don't need to do absolutely anything. Muka doesn't even have to chase him.
Well, Muka is going to try and chase him. Pratelicek takes the connection there from Bihu. Might take a secondary one. Nope, he drops off. RT comes out. 614 on towards Muka. With 29 seconds left. This is Utopia's game. They're just trying to do some more damage. Shuku comes over. Ooh, Pratelicek just tracks him. He will close out the kill though. Muka now should close the kill against Pratelicek. If no, actually Pratelicek gets on towards his side, just making the game a little bit longer. But now Muka trying to get away from Pratelicek. Doesn't connect it either. 3 seconds left. Combat lets off a shot. He might kill Muka. Nope, a miss. And that's it. Time's out. Utopia bring themselves on towards match point.
It's just one of those days when you don't break out of your 0% wins. They had 0% in attack on Prokhorovka. It will stay like that. They had 0% on mines. It will stay like that. So we will see what will happen on the next round because they actually have a good track record on it.
Well, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, for the sake of oops, eSuba needs to bring this to a tiebreaker.
We will see. Everyone gets at the end what they deserve because there was so many
I think they deserve
chances.
a lot of cookies because you've been talking the entire season to me, cookie for you. Haven't seen a single cookie, honestly. Like, you've been saying cookie for you, cookie for you. I haven't seen a single cookie.
You're a cookie monster.
I've had cookies, yeah. For now, I'm just a monster because I'm not getting the cookies.
Okay, we'll feed you after.
Good. Let's take a look at the stats here from the last one. Colossoid, my man, my player, doing the top damage.
Colossoid 3.4k there. Out-survived his lifetime, I would say even. Andrew Combat following there, but I don't know. About this game, what struck me is just that AP shells. Yes, they could have paid off handsomely. Yes, they would give a great advantage there for eSuba, but if he just played it normal and shot HE shells, they would have actually still... They would fight for that cap for a much longer time, and probably they would kill the mouse also in the process, giving them huge advantage in the later part of the game.
Well, it is what it is, Mojo. You know, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah, exactly like that. Tiebreaker, it's imminent. It's going to happen.
Very likely, actually.
I know, that's why I said it. 71% for eSuba on the defense.
Yeah, they're actually good defense team on Prokhorovka. Quite a lot of sloppy plays from the both teams at the moment.
And they've gone blow for blow.
Yeah, they're going blow for blow, but they're actually handing over the game sometimes to each other. Slowly but surely.
Well, let's bet, Mojo. Want to take a bet?
Will eSuba win? Yes, I say they will.
Dude, I'm going... I want to say the same thing.
But you cannot bet what I don't want to bet, man.
So I would have to go for Utopia?
Yes.
No. No. We'll make some bet in the next match. But let's take a look at the lineups for this one. No way I'm going to bet on Utopia on the Prokhorovka attack. Double mouse, STRV, 3 batches and an M40.
That's a decent attack lineup there, but eSuba 3 mouse tanks, Lorraine Arty actually, and SDRV only 1 Bachat and an IS-7. Very sturdy lineup there, but not much potential for any kind of spotting and rotation. Rather interesting, but it does look like they will be positioned mainly in a field and the forest.
We'll have to see the M40 versus the Lorraine. If the M40 misses 1 or 2 shots and the Lorraine connects all of them, then it becomes, you know, even. But if the M40 connects shot after shot after shot, he's going to win the Arty duel.
Yeah, for sure. But we need to see about the other guys also, because eSuba has a really huge defensive potential there. It's just how will they display the tanks.
It's going to be interesting to see where both these teams decide to go, as we're almost ready to get into the final round of regular time at least. eSuba wants to bring it to a tiebreaker. Utopia wants to take the 3 points, and if they do, they will be securing themselves that position in the rankings. Here we go. Utopia on 4 on the attack. eSuba on 3 on the defense.
And eSuba, as I thought, they're going for the forest. We will see, are they going to spot the middle with mouse tanks like Kazna is doing, or they're just going to linger along the rail immediately. Utopia going for the village side and going to pressure from that. I don't know, last time I've seen them do something like this, it really ended up miserably for them.
Well, we'll have to see if it's going to end miserably for them this time. Dynamo making the initial spotting run here in the middle. Spots out Lukin, gets spotted in return. No damage to be done so far. Nope. Combat. Jukic is actually playing Arty here.
Yeah, it's quite a change actually. Jukic is playing Arty, tier 8 combat is on IS-7 tank. Maybe they were not really happy with performance of combat in last round.
Whoa.
Or it's just like tactics for this map where they want combat on IS-7, but I don't see why, because Jukic is usually playing tier 10 heavy tanks. Single shooters for them entire season.
Well, Utopia has completely gone towards the eastern side. So they're going to be relying very heavily on Papapavian, I'd say, to make those connections in his M40. If he does not...
And there are the mouse spotters coming to middle of Prokhorovka to peek over and see is Utopia somewhere there. This is a new meta, Daki. Maybe they're wearing the coated like you proposed on the video.
Either that or Spalliner.
Well, Spalliner mainly helps only against splash, not direct damage.
So they should go with optics.
Coated, I think. That should be good for this map. Well, Utopia going slowly here. And they are going to try to do something like shooting with RT to see where is the enemy and so on. But luckily for them, this time the enemy doesn't have a lot of mobile tanks around. I mean, the problem was because when they played against Oops, actually, if you remember, Deadzone did a dive over the rail, took 1 or 2 shots, and then just landed down in a lake and killed Papapavian one-on-one. And effectively left them without RT. While that was going on, the rest of the Bachats from Oops were pressuring them, and they did a lot of damage. So that went really well for them. But this time, we can see that eSuba is much more passive. They have only 1 Bachat. They will certainly not suicide him to try to kill Papapavian. But what they can do with Ukets is monitor like 2 positions where Papapavian can be. One is exactly where he is in a corner, and he was already chased, one actually blind shot once today. And the second position is down in a lake.
Well, they spotted out Colosort now when the mouse. This kind of should start giving away the game as Overu starts moving. I think Froli is going to go behind him. Andrew push down the 1-2 line. Ukets here might make the first connection of the game on towards Colosort. As he lets off a shot. Let's see. 588. That's actually a very nice hit for the Lorraine Artie.
That's a super big roll for a tier 8 Artie that doesn't have a strong gun like M40. Very lucky roll by him. Let's see, will actually Papa Pavian return the favor to Combat here?
I think he will. He's lining up Combat here. Combat doesn't seem too safe. He gets the first connection from the side, actually, from a bad shot. Papa Pavian. Ooh. Combat. Let's see.
You should be scared.
He should be scared. Papa Pavian lets off the shot. Let's see Combat, how much he's going to take. 436. So far, Ukets is winning.
Just a small splash there. Just a small splash there. Colesoid is going along the rail here, so he will keep him perma-spotted. This is actually a problem for him because Colesoid and the guys can take much more beating than Combat there in that I7. Overus, Pratelicek and Lukin. The question is, what are they doing with their mouse tanks while Combat is taking a beating here? Like, he will take an engine shot if he stays like this.
I'm going to have to find out if Papa Pavian actually has an angle towards the back of the I7.
He should from that position.
It's a tight angle. It's a tight angle. Let's see. Could hit the rails. He lets off a shot. Let's see if it connects. Nope, it flies over. It's a very tight angle.
I think it's only like because the trajectory is long one, so he cannot be really certain where will the I7 be. So that's the only thing.
But Papa Pavian will have to move soon though, as Andrew and Froli start making their way towards the south. When they spot out Rulezik, or Rulezik gets spotted, Papa Pavian will have to move.
Yeah, if he stays there, the problem is Andrew, if he spots him, somehow the mouse tanks from the middle actually will be able to lean over and shoot him. Yes, they will take some damage for it, but if they take him out, it's fine.
Well, Andrew should get spotted soon, telling him there is somebody there. Oh, Ukets lining up a shot here against Shuku. Lets it off. Drops low. No connection.
No connection there, so there is a lot of misses on both sides here. 5 minutes to go, and eSuba has about 1500 HP advantage just by pure pick of tanks.
And Rulezik just holding the angle over here. Worried though as Andrew comes close. I think it's time to move. Rulezik realizes this as well. He's going to start moving, and I don't know if they're just going to leave Papa Pavian here in this area, because Andrew, if he's feeling confident like he is right now, he's going to spot him out very soon.
No one even sees Andrew approaching here. He will probably just peek over the rail and see him. Looking, will you pick up the last shot from Papa Pavian? Because if he stays like this, it's going to be like, ooh, 700 damage.
Did seem like he did. 700. Rulezik now moving back towards the rail. Andrew not feeling pushing forwards yet. Now he is. They know where Artie is. Andrew's going to try and spot him now. He has Froli in support. So there's no way for Rulezik to win this fight. Andrew should spot up Papa Pavian.
Yeah, but why is Ukits not aiming there?
I don't know.
That's a really sloppy
Rulezik
coordination.
is actually taking the fight here against Andrew. Andrew missing. So he takes 2 for his trouble.
And there is
Rulezik
no
only
one who
takes
can
1.
help because Froli is far away. He doesn't have him in a draw range.
Depends if Rulezik's going to peek over here, because then Froli should have him within range. Rulezik peeks up now, misses. Andrew's safe.
This is called being a bit greedy here. I mean, Rulezik is really testing his chances. And there you go, Bihu is actually picking up the first mouse tank. They're peeking over and doing their damage over the lower side of the rail.
Yeah, but they take so much in return. Rulezik needs to be really careful here, because Andrew's going to go back and spot him again while the fight in the north continues. Andrew will spot out Rulezik. There we go. Andrew spotted him out now. Rulezik is starting to trade with Andrew. But, oh, the damage comes out from the back lines, though. Combat picks up Muka in the meantime. Froli actually bounces off Rulezik, so he won't be able to close the kill before he gets over. But eSuba still with a comfortable HP lead. Froli, that bounce is going to cost him, as Rulezik will make it over the rails just about. Yes, just about.
Tight save there, but this is really important one because there's still gun in the game. I mean, there is one Batchat on 100% HP here for Utopia, it's Dynamo, but the HP when they pushed, look at this. Almost 2000 HP advantage here for eSuba.
And still Froli controlling Shuku, as Pratelicek actually gets removed from the map, and now Dynamo picking from the middle. He has one more shot available, puts it onto the back of Combat, who's now down towards the one shot as well. Colastoid down towards the one shot. It's a neck race here. The damage comes out from Ukets. Colastoid, he doesn't have the turning to be able to outturn Combat. Combat will close out the kill. There we go. Now Bihu coming over. Dynamo pushing forwards towards Arti. But still, eSuba should be able to hold this.
Overus actually managed to kill Bihu, so he is down. Dynamo is still on reload, but he's going for the forest. And
But
he's
Ukets
getting
is almost
sniped.
reloaded.
Ukets is almost reloaded. There is a potential he will just tank Destroyer shot him.
Let's see. Ukets is going to be aiming on Dynamo. Ooh, Dynamo just about gets despotted. Dynamo picks up Combat. Is going to keep driving forwards. Ukets should get a connection here. 537. It is a nice connection after all. Overus picks up the kill. In the meantime, Dynamo will get Ukets, but eSuba will hold on.
Yeah, they will still have Frolly on 100% HP there. If Utopia actually wants to cap, they need to do it now, but the time is so little, and I don't think it's an option because Overus can come and decap any moment of the day. Rulezik being one-shot all the time. Dynamo is getting deleted by Overus. Did he set him on fire?
Had to be a fire on towards the back of Dynamo. It's just Rulezik and Papapavian. And Mojo, we are heading towards a tie-breaker between these two. I know one happy team is going to be Oops, because no matter what, if Oops win against Kazna, they can even themselves with Utopia.
They can, and that will make them being above, that's for sure, because then they will... Well, man, they will be above Utopia, actually, then, for sure, if they win. They will have 24 points and they will be fourth.
Yeah, but Utopia, if they win in tiebreaker, that's 24 as well.
Yeah, but Oops is better then.
Yeah, that's the point. No matter what happened in the tiebreaker here, it's an advantage for Oops, because if Oops picks up the win against Kazna Crew clean, then...
They will be fourth.
Yep.
And Kazna will be third, and very angry.
And even if Utopia lose here, in tiebreaker 1 point, 23, and Oops win in tiebreaker against Kazna Crew,
they will be above.
Yeah, but then Kazna Crew will be number 2.
So many options. So many options. Well, closing moments here in this regular time. As Daki said already, Overus is pushing, trying to kill Rulezik.
I think he's going to
Doesn't really matter. There is 10 seconds till the end, so these are just details. A slight splash by Arti. Frolly is still on 100% with his STRV. There is no one even who can challenge his existence on the map. And we will go to the tiebreaker, which will be Himmelsdorf, Daki. Again.
Himmelsdorf. It depends on who gets to defend and attack. Both these teams losing.
Attack.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Both these teams losing their defensive rounds. So, who is going to have the quickest attack, though? Let's think about it. Let's think about it. So first map, Himmelsdorf. Neither of the attacks are really quick. Mine's
Ghost Town again. Both of the attacks won. Defense is lost.
I think mine's
again. Both of the attacks won. Defense is lost.
I think Ghost Town, eSuba attack was the quickest round.
You think when they pushed with 50 beats over? Let's see. Okay, we got the info that Utopia was actually
Feels
fastest
bad,
attack. We're going to check on which map. Combat doing 3.4k damage here with 2 kills in his i7. I would say he even outlived his expected life because I really thought there will be a big connection by M40 in his back.
Well, he also got helped a lot by Ukets there in the Lorraine RTX. Doing 2.5k damage in that Lorraine. Not bad whatsoever. He tracked Colastoid, I think it was, and then
Ukets did rather well in that Lorraine RT. I mean, in some moments I was really questioning what was he aiming, but still, overall he did a decent job.
Just waiting for these teams, well, for Utopia to figure out what side they want to pick on this map. We should have the information available very soon. Will they pick attack? Will they pick attack? It's such a risky pick in essence because of the defender having the time advantage and such. But if the regular time told us anything, both these teams didn't manage to pick up their defense.
Yeah, it was really hard for them to defend. Interesting is here, if actually eSuba picks 2 points now and Oops loses clean against Kazna, then Oops will be 6th.
So many options, Mojo.
Very much
so
options.
many options. It is all going to be decided in the next match. pretty much.
Yeah, but we still need to see what will these guys do because they are fighting for their like really wits here. I mean, meta against meta. A lot of Germans still flying around, and a lot of RT pieces.
I think Utopia will pick the attack.
And they are.
Because in regular time they didn't manage to do it either. So, makes sense. It's still a risky pick in my opinion. Because of
I
the...
still think it's a good pick because out of these 3 maps we've seen, eSuba has really bad defense on 3 of them. And they've lost them.
All they need to do, Mojo, is pick 6 mouses.
You think that will just go through anything?
Yup. Just defend. Hold.
But they're attacking. I mean, Utopia.
Against a team like Utopia, with 6 mouse, you could afford to pick like 3 threes or 43s.
5 mouse, 1 TIE Fighter heavy, man. So you can shoot around the corner.
Against a team like Utopia, just bring E3s or E4s. They will stretch through the turret anyways.
That's true. We've seen a lot of these guys are actually making quite a bit mistakes when they're positioning with mouse tanks.
Against Utopia on steps, I'd dare to pick double tier 9 RT even.
Double?
They play with 6 mouse, man.
Still, man, 1 is more than enough. Come on, double is such a gamble. That's such a gamble.
It's not a gamble.
Yes, it is. They go with 6 mouses over the field and chase you.
Congratulations. All you need to do is drag them around the map.
Well, we'll see when that happens. I'm gonna laugh my ass off when it does. But at the moment here, Utopia is attacking on Himmelsdorf. We are waiting for teams to set up their final picks because, of course, this is not predicted in a start.
Mouses.
Mouses. Your sixth sense says, oh, I'm gonna see a lot of mouses on the map, right?
6.
6 mouses.
I've decided 6 is gonna be the number for this one.
On both sides?
No. 6 in total.
6 in total. Let's see.
How many, Mojo?
Defender. I would say 5. Okay.
We've done it. Let's hope it's 6. I'm nervous now. I hope it's 6. I really hope it's 6, Mojo. What if it's like 7 though?
Then nothing.
What? Come on.
There is no come on, man. It's 6 or 5.
Did you cheat?
No, they're not picked, man.
They did. I think they just did, but we're waiting for everything to get ready.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm nervous now.
I never cheat, man.
Let's see the lineups and see if I'm right or I'm wrong. I hope I'm right.
4,
Yes!
5, 6.
Yes!
God damn it.
Yes! Oh man, you're wearing a bow tie during the online playoffs.
I guess I am.
I've done it. I've done it. Woohoo! Let's go.
Oh man, that's gonna be hard. You actually have a lot of time to buy a crappy
Dude,
one.
I'm going to buy the most beautiful bow tie you could ever imagine.
If I was a 6-year-old, right?
Man, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be brilliant. Can't wait. I have 2 weeks to decide, Mojo.
Oh, that was the worst timing for me to lose a bet, definitely. Oh well, that's life.
It is indeed. Now, Mojo, not much has changed here in the lineups, though.
Oh no, Ice Wars all over the place again. 2 mouse for eSuba, but 4 in attack for Utopia. I was expecting actually in attack they will have 3, not 4. That's why I said 5. But there you go. I was wrong, and they're playing like this.
Well, Mojo, who's going to win the tiebreaker? Let's find out on our final map, Himmelsdorf. Tiebreaker between Utopia and eSuba. The final match of the season for both these teams. It's 4-4, obviously. Utopia is going to be attacking. eSuba is going to be defending, Mojo. And who are you going to stick by?
Utopia is going for the rail, which is actually a decent thing to do with this kind of lineup. It's much better than to go up where they know that eSuba is trenching up. So, yeah, I actually like more what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, Overus is now in the T10 over there, though, where we saw in the first time they played the defense. It was Lukin and the Mouse.
They didn't end well. But Dynamo and Biho are opening the same.
Yep, they might expect the mouse to cross over, but little do they know it's actually just Overus in his tier 10.
Yeah, but there is someone who needs to trigger the other cap, so he would even move around that area, which will not happen, of course. And these 4 mouses, they will just go and YOLO inside the cap and pressure it like that. YOLO, if you can say it like that.
Now it's all on towards Lukin, Andrew, and Overus though to do the initial damage. Andrew from that railway station needs to connect shot after shot if they do go towards the rails to protect Overus.
Not only that, he needs to play a survival game, because being there, I mean, there is no cooldown for a paper tank. It doesn't exist. Anything that sees you will pen you.
Well, the mouses are starting to make their way to the K line, slowly but surely, as Shuku, Colosoid, Muka, and Rulezik take the rails. We're gonna have to see how eSuba is gonna be able to hold this off. Utopia is starting with an HP lead as well, so eSuba needs to make great trades in the beginning.
Let's see how will that end up. Utopia has about 1200 HP advantage here. That's nothing really special for this kind of game. It will certainly not decide it. It's going to be about positioning and tactics. We also need to see how will eSuba decide to rotate their tanks. Probably they should send some over the courtyard, but there are 250 Bs from Utopia who can really stop them in the tracks. Also, there is a matter, they have Papa Pavian here, so if they actually manage to push away Overus, they can really pressure the cap hard. There is also a third option. If they lure them all to come and fight on the one cap, they can just send both 50Bs and Papa Pavian on the other cap.
So far, Shuku took the only damage that was from the Waffenträger. That T10 of Overus could actually do a tremendous amount if he can stay alive. Andrew actually takes the connection there from Papa Pavian. He needs to be careful. He needs to get D-spotted even because the mouses are starting to line up the shots against him. He's D-spotted now. This gives him a little bit of room to move around. Perhaps get a connection here on towards Colosaur. Nope, that one doesn't go through. He needs to survive.
Waffenträger still not spotted there. Good for him.
Nice connection from Overus on towards Colosaur now. Chipping away a little bit of HP here. He's not going to peek against Muka because he knows he's going to get spotted. He might risk it anyways. There we go. Ooh, a lot of misses there. Very lucky. I don't think he should be doing that again.
Every time he peeks and fires, he gets spotted. But the mouses are getting closer, so it's going to be harder for him to even get D-spotted ever again.
Yuket's in the 50B actually trading very badly over here. Minus 920, but the HP is starting to even out here. I think eSuba is doing a good job of starting to chip away slowly but surely away from these mouses.
Still about the same, 1200. So nothing well going on there for them. The problem is here, Combat and Frolly are coming with Ice-4, so they will have some crossfire angles. And there is finally damage coming here for Dynamo, who loses even his ammo rack. Careless positioning here by Bihu and him.
Yeah, Dynamo takes so much. He repairs his ammo rack, but eSuba is starting to surround Utopia here slowly but surely with the Ice-4s down the middle. Pratelicek covering as well. Andrew, he needs to be so careful. He needs to survive. Combat and Frolly need to play this perfect. They can't be catched out by these 50Bs, and I think Combat right now is not in the greatest of positions.
No, but really, there is Papa Pavian. Only Papa Pavian actually can be really annoying. There is enough time for him to climb up and start shooting people in the back. Yes, he doesn't have a gun with the best penetration and aim. Still, he can really annoy them.
Overus needs to be careful here in his T10 as Colosaur is starting to push forward. Andrew taking even more damage. Overus now going to try and take the trade here with Colosaur. He's trying to get on towards the side of that mouse. He actually does. He needs to be careful. He's going to have to fight head on now with the mouse. Overus, he needs to get on towards this side because Colosaur is going to close out this kill, and he does. That's the first tank down here for eSuba. They still have an HP lead, but they're in trouble, I think.
That's a gun down, and that's always annoying and really important fact. There is one more. Andrew is deleted from his garage spot. His Waffenträger is not going to do any more shots in this game.
No, he's not, as Frolly is now starting to get connected from the side by the 50Bs. He seems to be tracked, he seems to be held. He goes down towards the one shot. He's down. 3 tanks down now for eSuba. The HP lead, it's gone. And they need to make some kills now, but Papa Pavian from the top being extremely annoying as well. It seems like Utopia have just about done enough to claim this round. Combat with his slow IS-4 trying to chase down 50Bs.
Combat and Yuket in combination somehow have to kill Bihu and Dynamo if they want to stay in a game. If that happens, they have a chance. It's not done for them yet. But if they fail to do so, that's GG.
Yuket got the kill on towards Bihu though, but he took a big connection in return from that. Rolizik now starting to push forwards as well. The HP is still 1,000 apart from each other. Combat does not connect the shot. Dynamo managed to get away from there, but now Papa Pavin starting to come from behind here.
He's
Nice
gonna go on
connection.
cap, I think.
I think he's going to come from behind on towards Lukin or Pratelicek.
He can do that, but he can also just trigger the cap from the top side, which would require Ukets or someone to go completely back out of the fight and just deal with him. But he's just doing the, as you said, he's going back, he's going to try to help on clipping on Lukin, who is alone here and without any really significant help.
Yeah, Lukin seems to be in trouble. Muka peeks out, does not connect, but Papa Pavin with 6 shots from behind. It's the first. He should connect many more, but now he's on a difficult angle for Papa Pavin. I mean, look at the bounces coming out. Once he starts turning, Papa Pavin needs clean shot on towards the back, but Lukin is taking so much damage here. Papa Pavin knocks out the engine. The ammo rack is damaged as well. Lukin down towards the one shot. Muka closing out the kill here. Utopia have control. They're going to close out this round. 6 tanks versus just 3 from eSuba. Utopia are going to pick up 2 points here. eSuba just going to pick up 1. What a match it has been to close out the season for both these teams. We're going to be seeing them back in the online playoffs, but it's Utopia that's going to claim the scalp of eSuba for the 3rd time this season. It's in close fashion, but they do it anyways as Combat gets the kill on towards Rulezik. There's just 2 tanks left for eSuba. Ukets gets Dynamo, yes, but there's just too much HP remaining on the tanks from Utopia for eSuba to make this happen.
Ending moments here for eSuba, and that will leave Utopia at 24 points and eSuba at 20. So that means that eSuba cannot overtake Oops anymore. They will be guaranteed number 6 spot. They cannot move anymore away from that. And it remains to see the next match, because if Oops makes to do a clean win against Kazna, that means maximum 5-3. I mean 3 games for Kazna. Oops will be 4th team, and Kazna will actually end up 3rd.
Great game, honestly, between these two, going blow for blow. Enjoyable, I'd say. eSuba just not enough. I mean, Overus and Andrew, we talked about him. He couldn't die there. I think instead of being in that first railway station, you should have been in the second with the rubble pile. It's a lot more effective because the rubble pile is higher, so you can play it much better.
Not only that, he could have been completely behind.
Yeah, that too.
And
But
shoot through
if he
entire
did want to
garage on
play
them.
there, he could play on the little bit more towards the right. He can fully hide, and he didn't. And when they lost that crossfire, that's when things started really to fall apart for eSuba.
Not only that, the 50B Ukets, he really kind
Yeah.
of got he was
Froley
caught.
full HP
Froley.
got caught as well.
Yeah, and they lost a lot of HP there in a start. I mean, Bihu almost returned them the favor, and Dynamo, because they were shot and they knew the